Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. I have 7 brands that I want to share 2 top fall recommendations from. Hashtag too early, Veronica, to talk about fall nonsense. It's never too early to talk about any fragrances for any season. And these are some beauties that I really want to share with you. And then I also have the new lineup of fragrances, the new releases from Banana Republic to share with you at the end of the video. These are all on sale at So Avant Garde this weekend using my code Veronica30. So that's 30% off site wide if you care to shop on there. And then Banana Republic and Tumi are on sale for 40% off using Veronica40. So I wanted to share some of my very top recommendations with you that I love, adore, and are in my collection. And I plan to rock this fall as I did last fall, and then share some new fragrances with you as well that are new drops, brand new releases. The details of the sale will be down in the description box. There are some brands that are excluded from the sale, so I'll put that all down below. Be sure to check that out if you're thinking of shopping the sale. And if you're just here to hear about the fragrances, that is fine too. Sit back, relax, let's chat. I'll start with the brand Akro and one of my top recommendations for the fall season. And in fact, this can be a year-round fragrance because of the nature of it. And this is Glow. Beautiful vanilla amber combination with a little hint of spice. It's been compared to Guerlain's Spiritus Double Vanille quite often. I find this to be warm, easygoing, cozy, beautiful, both sweater weather and date night kind of perfume that is a versatile vanilla. I wouldn't even hesitate to wear this to work. I'll tell you that rather than the Guerlain fragrance, this one reminded me quite a bit of Gentle Fluidity Gold, minus that like juniper berry note that's in Gentle Fluidity Gold, but the background of it is the same. There's a cozy elegance to this fragrance that I think kind of elevates this above a lot of the vanillas that maybe sit in the playful gourmand direction. This one has a refinement and elegance to it that I think make it appropriate for work affairs, particularly if you have an evening affair that you're going to. I wouldn't hesitate to spray this on. By the same token, I think it would be fantastic for an intimate evening out. Not a loud fragrance, but a decent projector and nice longevity on this as well. That's Acro Glow, primarily vanilla, amber, and a little bit of pepper in the fragrance as well. And it's unisex, but to me, it leans a little bit on the feminine side and has this cozy prettiness to it. Beautiful, beautiful scent. For those of you that like more gourmand leaning vanillas, you definitely have to check out, if you haven't already, Acro Bake. This is probably one of my favorite sweet, citrusy, lemony vanillas, and there are a bunch out on the market. This one has been hanging tough. Let me tell you, I had unknown pleasures from kerosene and I ended up selling that one. Beautiful fragrance, still stand behind that one, but I had to cull back my collection of lemon, citrus, vanilla sweet fragrances. And this one actually won out over the beautiful unknown pleasures from kerosene. So that tells you a lot about this one. If you've tried Capri in a bottle, the lemon sugar one from Kayali that was released as part of the vacation lineup, this has something close to that. It smells sweet, lemony. The biggest thing that this reminds me of, people compare this to lemon cookies. I think it also smells like a lemon bar, sort of fresh out of the oven when you've sprinkled it with confectioner's sugar. It still has the hot lemon filling from being out of the oven, so it smells nice and gourmand, almost cakey. And it's really delectable and delightful. Definitely in gourmand territory. So if you're not a gourmand lover, this may not be for you. At the same time, for those of you that enjoy gourmands or don't want it too sweet, I don't think that this goes in the like tooth aching direction. It's in gourmand territory without being too extremely edible and is fun, cozy, another warm fragrance, delightful. In fact, I wonder what it might smell like to layer. I haven't thought about this. Glow with bake, and if these two would play well together, and if bake would add sort of a playful element to glow, and glow would add a refined warmth to bake. Bake is warm as it is. Anyway, these are my two top acro recommendations. I'm sticking to 2 from 7 favorite brands. So let's move on. Next, I'm going to go to Andrea Mack, one of my favorite houses featured on So Avant Garde, and my favorite place to shop for them because I can get them 30% off during the sale. My very top recommendation from Andrea Mack. Well, y'all know that I love ceramic, the clean, musky smelling, floral, soapy, summertime, spring smell. I do love soft tension. I love a bunch. I love Supernova, the woody, spicy fall fragrance. That's a good one too for this time of year. But there are 2 others that I really want to focus on that I think are fantastic for fall, especially as we go into winter. Andrea Mack Pavilion is I don't know, my favorite from the house and one that I have nothing short of an obsession with, perhaps among my favorite rose fragrances in my entire collection. This is one of those toe curler fragrances. Makes your eyes roll in the back of your head. If you haven't tried this and you like oud bouquet, but you don't want the nuclear power of Lancome's oud bouquet. So it has that rose, beautiful, elegant, ladylike, feminine, gorgeous rose, this soft, sweet praline note, and this woody, oody background. It is amazing. It has this sweetness to it. It's deep, sensual, mega sexy fragrance. One of the sexiest fragrances in my collection. I love to wear this. It's a powerhouse. This is one that when I tried this fragrance, and I was trying the entire Andrea Mack lineup during a webinar where she herself, Andrea Mack, was explaining her fragrance collection and how she thought of the concepts for them and all of that. When we got to this one, I was done with the webinar. I was like, turn it off. It's just me and this fragrance in this room for now. Like the edges of the room blurred because I thought this was such a gorgeous fragrance, and it still is beautiful. The notes here are praline, honey, saffron at the top. In the middle, there's rose and patchouli, and in the base, vanilla, oud, and amber. Primarily for me, think of a woody vanillic base with something like a praline note in the middle, accompanied by rose and sweet notes at the top. It is a powerhouse of a fragrance, not to be played with, one of the best in my collection. Love this. A perfume that I think is absolutely fantastic for what I call spooky season. So for me, that is anything from like middle of August when kids go back to school all the way through the beginning of November, like right after Halloween is JEST. This is not for the faint of heart. It's a unique type of smell. Some people love it, others hate it. Primary notes here are there's a little bit of a boozy accord from a rum note, and then you get vanilla, chocolate, and apple with some florals. Really unique scent. I find this quite difficult to describe, but it is rather intoxicating. You do get this sort of dark chocolate smell, this clean, crisp apple accord, the booziness, and then there's like this woody vanillic base to it that I think makes this delightful. Most people voted that vanilla is the prominent note in this fragrance. I would say that the like boozy woodiness is the good base of it, right? The foundation upon which vanilla and a little bit of dark chocolate and an apple note sit that make up this fragrance. It's unique, it's different. Folks that love this, love it and get it. And then if you want a predictable profile, this may not be a good fragrance for you, but I find it to be delightful and different. And I now associate this with all things fall and delightful. Jest. We'll go next to the House of Gritti. There are so many to recommend from this house. There are the usual suspects like Tutu, Tutu Blanc, Monica, Chantilly. Eclectique was sold out as of the time that I'm filming this video. That's the newest one, but that's a beautiful one as well. I've recommended Kill the Lights, Aqua Incanta, which is not on the website, but a beautiful powdery fragrance. I've recommended Because I'm Free, which is this floral tuberose deliciousness. But the two that I want to recommend for fall because they have such a hearty middle and base to them, I think you know the one that I'm going to really recommend Mango Oud too. Fantastic mango oudi fragrance. Little much for me, but fabulous fragrance. But the main one I want to recommend for fall and winter from this house is none other than the gorgeous Duchessa, worth every penny of the retail price and absolutely at 30% off. One of the sexiest cherry almond fragrances that I've ever tried. Primary notes here, saffron, dark, like a dark boozy cherry, almond. I swear there's some kind of alcohol, like a rum or a cognac or something like that in the fragrance that gives it this boozy factor. There's brown sugar, spices. It is everything beautiful, fall, sexy, siren, vavavoom. You have your, red low-cut dress on, your red lipstick, your high heels, and you're out to slay and you wear Duchessa. Everyone in the room will notice you. You will have an alluring, beautiful, sexy cherry almond smell with that boozy, almost woody background. The saffron adds some intrigue and mystery here, and then some hints of spiciness. This is a beautiful fragrance. It smells like the dark, mysterious velvet that surrounds it. It's just gorgeous. Most people that like these kinds of scent profiles absolutely go crazy over Duchessa. I haven't met many people that hate it or dislike it. And so if you're a cherry lover, this is the one to check out. I personally love this and Lost Cherry too from Tom Ford and a few other cherries, but this is one of my top cherry scents. amazing. And it's a dark, mysterious fall and winter boozy cherry that is just mwah, chef's kiss. I debated which other gritty fragrance to put if I only had to choose one other. And so this was really, really hard. But because we're talking about fall scents and then leading into winter, I'm going to go with one of the heavier choices, and that is Hysterica in this beautiful fuchsia pink velvet wraparound. This one is gorgeous, not for the faint of heart. This is for those of you that want a heavy scent. You want to be noticed. You enjoy being almost cloying, but not quite there because I don't find this cloying. Some of the primary notes here, it's got this sort of bubblegummy tuberose and vanillic base, beautiful dark plum note, as well as a pronounced honey note. This opens a little bit rude and strange. Like for the first few seconds, you're like, what mess did I get myself into here? But if you just wait maybe 5, 10 seconds or so, maybe 15, it starts to settle down into this very thick, honeyed tuberose, plum, vanillic, very feminine, very heavy fragrance that is perfect for the depth of fall into the winter. You can wear this at other times if you don't mind, and if you're in an air conditioned space. Rather sweet, rather floral, rather fruity, and just beautiful, lightened up by that sort of bubblegummy kind of light powdery tuberose, touch. Gorgeous. Hysterica, long lasting and very projecting. So moving on to Initio, a house that we don't see go on sale often. It's kind of hard to find these on sale unless you are like stalking gray market sites, and then you might find them here and there. And they typically sell out quickly. Two crowd pleasing favorites that are fantastic year round, and especially as we approach fall. The first one is sort of a sweetheart of the Initio lineup, and that is Psychedelic Love. If you haven't tried this, it's imperative that you get your nose on this one. The primary features here are this beautiful heliotrope and vanilla in the fragrance, and a hedione note. Hedione is part of like the jasmine family of notes, and so it has this beautiful white floral aspect, but this is delicate and soft. Many people pick up something like an almond, sweet almond accord, like a thin sweet almond accord, but it is gentle, it is soft, slightly powdery. The heliotrope lends this, powderiness to it. There's a myrrh note that adds some mystery, and that vanilla are the primary features of this. Beautiful. Most people that have tried Psychedelic Love have really enjoyed this. It's a particularly feminine leaning scent, although I think this would smell fantastic on gentlemen as well because it has this really comforting hug in a bottle kind of smell with this sort of like ethereal edge to it. It's really quite intoxicating because of the softness of the fragrance, like the soft nature of the combination of notes and the powderiness. It has this like delicate mystery to it that makes you want to come in closer for a sniff. So again, primary notes here, that sort of soft, powdery, heliotrope, almondy deal, a very gentle white floral nature, perhaps a little bit of a resinous and maybe even incensey smelling deal from the myrrh. Beautiful with the base of vanilla that makes it, to me, a feminine fragrance, but wearable by men as well. Beautiful scent, psychedelic love, a sweetheart. Then for true vanilla lovers, this one is one to add to your collection. If you don't mind a vanilla with a little bit of edge to it, absolute aphrodisiac. And again, this is one that people either are obsessed with and completely love, or they maybe just don't understand it. And I think that's primarily because there is a castoreum note, which tends to have a tiny slight bit of like a dirty edge to it, and it's dirty in a sexy way, like a carnal edge. But it's mainly vanilla, a little bit of musk, a little bit of that carnal edge to it, and it has a touch of a floral aspect as well, primarily vanilla though. So this is beautiful. I bet absolute aphrodisiac and glow would layer famously, fantastically together with the amber in the glow, giving absolute aphrodisiac even more of an evening flair. This is a very sexy, intimate fragrance. It's closer to the skin. It's got a little bit of a come hither type of deal, just like Psychedelic Love does. Really fantastic. Smells great under a sweater, on a cozy evening, cozy day in, that kind of deal. Great for date night. Beautiful scent. I'll go next to two from Morph. And I've raved and raved about this next fragrance quite a bit this summer. I discovered it in the early summer when I sampled it. It is Gate 17. This was in my Smell Like a Princess video that I recently posted. This is like delicate feminine perfection in a bottle. It's got this like pillowy, musky, sweet, milky nature to it. Some of the notes here that stand out to me: iris and musk, vanilla, amber. There's a touch of floral nature to this that gives it a femininity. In addition to the other notes, it's almost like marshmallowy in nature, has a slight sweetness to it. It's a very fluffy, sweet, pillowy fragrance without going into gourmand territory. This is like just south of that in the right ways. It's delicate. It's got both cool, comforting features as well as like warm floral tones to it. But primarily, I think of substances like cotton balls and soft mattresses and faux fur that you fall into, when you're wanting to take a nap. Maybe even like soft marshmallows, all of those sort of textures and feels and soft feelings all wrapped into one bottle. This is a fantastic selection. Gate 17. I don't know why it's called Gate 17, but if Gate 17 leads to heaven in a bottle, there you go. I wore this one in July and didn't talk about it in my July Fragrance Awards, and I don't know why. And that is DISUMANO, also from Morph. Notes here that stand out to me: coconut milk, white flowers, caramel, vanilla, tonka bean, amber. This is another very soft, nearly powdery fragrance with this beautiful coconut caramel combination. This one leans to me a little more in the overt gourmand direction than Gate 17 does, which stays kind of like pillowy and cloud-like. DISUMANO is more of like, it's both a summer and a fall gourmand-esque fragrance. And me as someone that doesn't want like the super sticky, sweet gourmands or too many of them. I like some, but not very many. This one is gourmand direction without being too sickeningly sweet. It's creamy, it's floral, it's soft, it's feminine. It's got that beautiful caramel accord that is light. It's not a super sticky, heavy caramel. It's like just enough to lend a little bit of gourmand direction to this. Really delightful fragrance. One that's great for like summer evenings and definitely fall and winter because of the kind of scent profile that it is. Very warm, soft, surrounding, cozy, comforting. Another of my favorite houses, especially to talk about during these sales, is Widian. And SAHARA is the first one that I'm going to recommend as one of the gems from this house that I don't hear a lot of people talking about at all. This is a beautiful, very Middle Eastern with a modern edge kind of scent, like old world meets new world, old world sophistication and mystery and spices meets new world elegance. If you want to smell like an Arabian princess, I have never smelled an Arabian princess. I've never been in the presence of an Arabian princess. I imagine this is what she might smell like. Look at the beauty of the bottle. The bottle itself has this sort of orangey honey tone, as does the liquid inside. Some of the key notes here: saffron, orange, and elemi. Elemi is a resin, so think of like almost like a sticky, syrupy sort of smell. Doesn't smell sticky and syrupy, but like an element of that here. Rose and orange blossom in the middle, amber and musk and cedar and vanilla in the base. What a beauty this is. You will smell unique in this fragrance. The brightness of the orange comes through, mixed with like the mystery of the saffron, the depth from the elemi and the musk and the amber and all of that. It's a very exotic smelling scent with a modern twist. This would be beautiful for special occasion. Any night where you want it to stand out because of your scent, you want your scent to be a unique profile, but still beautiful, feminine, noticeable. This is a winner for that. Vanilla, musk, woodiness in the base, that orangey, saffrony type of top to it, a floral middle. It is gorgeous. One not to be missed, SAHARA, beautiful. Then I would be remiss not to mention a fragrance that I have a really difficult time describing because the notes don't tell me a lot about what this smells like to me. And it was the one that made me fall in love with the House of Widian and start exploring them, and that is LUBAN. This is so gorgeous. A very sort of more close scent bubble, but a beautiful, almost like lotion with vanilla, like skin lotion. Think like Nivea cream with a beautiful vanilla and amber in it. The notes here are way too many to describe. What I will say about the House of Widian is that my experience is that their materials are of the highest quality, which lends to the expense of the fragrance, unique bottles that they, make for their own line. And there is a very high concentration of oils. These are all extrait de parfum, but this smells like the most luxurious, soft vanilla amber smell on your skin with a little splash of white floral, a distant hint of some other kinds of spa oils in it, and it's luxurious. Like your skin smells so luxurious when you have this on, but it's close to the skin. It's like for you and the person next to you to understand and smell and enjoy without being super loud in the room. Maybe a person over from that, maybe 2 people over will be able to catch a whiff of your beautiful scent, but it's intimate, it's self-assured, it's a confident, beautiful, soft smell of vanilla and amber together with hints of other things in it, and it's just beautiful. Apologies for the change in perfume scenery here, but when I recorded this section of the video, apparently something funky happened with the audio, so I'm quickly re-recording to share my 2 top recommendations from Fragrance du Bois. These are fragrances that are on 100% of the time. Every time I wear them, I'm amazed at how beautiful they are, how projecting and long-lasting and high quality and deep and rich and opulent they feel. So this is Sirene, which is one of those fragrances that sort of took Fragcom by storm when it was first released. Another cherry, woody, oody fragrance. And I tell you, this is one of the sexiest cherries of all, in addition to Duchessa. It's in the same family. This one is perhaps even more intense, in my opinion, than Duchessa is, and a little bit deeper and more oody in the background, and oody in a beautiful way. I know some folks are afraid of an oud note, and we've had conversations about that before, but here it just shows up as a deep, really sort of rich smelling, and rich in terms of like texture, smelling woodiness. Key notes here are cherry and pepper. Oud, there's a hint of incense, although I can't say that I always pick that up, and there's sort of a creaminess to this fragrance that really impresses me tremendously. Like I said, it has long lasting power, very sexy fragrance, very unisex, although I think ladies can comfortably wear this fragrance because of the femininity of the cherry note. A top recommendation, and one that is challenging to find on sale. So this is a great time to pick this one up if you've had it on your wish list. Speaking of super long lasting fragrances, another one that just never fails me. Every time I put it on, I feel like $1,000,000. Like ready to go out to the most extravagant affair on the town. New York Fifth Avenue from Fragrance du Bois hits 100% of the time. This is primarily a vanilla, woody, and rose fragrance. This one has caramel and a little bit of citrus in it as well to give it some really nice round, bright edges, but it is both a happy rose, a very rich, opulent smelling rose. It's like decadent while still being super wearable. Very deep, woody, and vanillic base to this, with this gorgeous, almost like fresh smelling rose, but it's still, even though it's fresh, it has this super sexy edge to it. This is the $1,000,000 fragrance right here to me. It makes you feel like you are so put together in your finest outfit, ready for a night out on the town, ready for an extravagant family affair, a beautiful dinner, the ball gown type of deal, all of that. Beautiful fragrance, New York Fifth Avenue, super long lasting, and very, very both pretty and sexy and elegant all at the same time. This is a winner. Definitely give this one a try if you're into very sophisticated roses that also have sort of a sexy, flirty edge to them. Absolutely gorgeous fragrance. I'm going to go next to the Banana Republic new ones. There's one that has been out for a while that was new last year that I want to mention first. Before I talk about Banana Republic, I've raved about the Tumi fragrances, the ones that were released for women. All 4 of them are fantastic. My favorites are Signature and Utopia. Signature is a little bit like the Creed Aventus for her kind of DNA, where there's like an apple, crisp, woody, easygoing citrus smell in the air that's just like universally fantastic. And Utopia as that soft, delicate, slightly powdery vanilla with a little bit of floral and an apple note. Those are fantastic. But I wanted to give some shine to Banana Republic as a brand, an affordable brand. They're typically on sale on So Avant-Garde anyway, and then you get the 40% off on top of that. So these are a steal. One of my favorites from the Collezione Riservata line. Hope I said that correctly. That's their reserve line, like their special line. This one came out last year and it's ORRIS Vanille. I raved about it last year. I'm going to rave about it again this year. One of the most unique sandalwood vanilla scents that I have smelled in a while. Those are the primary notes. There's also amberwood in the base, but then there's orris and this unique bright apple blossom note in the middle that I think sticks around for the length of the fragrance. If I had to describe this without knowing the notes, I would say that this is both bright, inviting, fresh, yet warm and crisp and cozy all at the same time, and it's fantastic. Another one that would probably be an easy wear for work, easy running errands in maybe cooler weather. Vanilla and sandalwood are the dominant notes to me, with this soft powderiness sitting on top of that and that delightful bright apple blossom that smells fresh and clean and pretty. I think this is really quite unisex, but the vanilla and the apple blossom do give it a slight feminine lean that I think is delightful. Most of the people that have tried this on my recommendation have really enjoyed this. Orris Vanille, long lasting as well, which is great. Then let's talk about the three new releases that I think are worth checking out. All three are beautiful. I have my favorite. My husband has his favorite. And then there's one that we both like, but didn't make the favorite cut if we had to choose from the three. So we're going to start off with Sandalwood and Musk, which is in this blue bottle, and some might associate that with a masculine smell. This one does have a slight bit of a masculine lean. I think it's quite a delightful fragrance. I would definitely wear this fragrance. I sprayed this on my husband when it arrived. One of these I've worn a full day. This one my husband has worn. The notes here, lilac, bergamot, orris, and in the middle, amber and musk, and then it's sandalwood and cedar in the dry down. This is such a familiar smell. It doesn't smell like another fragrance. It smells like something else from my past that I can't quite put my finger on. If there were such a thing as like a feminine aftershave, this might be it. It's a very comforting, familiar smell to me. Definitely get sandalwood and musk, but then there's something else, and I can't see it from the notes. Maybe it's the lilac that's standing out to me. Definitely has like a cool floral nature to it. I thought it smelled quite good on my husband. Woody, musky, a little floral, and comforting. I thought he smelled really good. And if I didn't know any better, I would say this had a little bit of like a pear note or something in that direction in it to lend some bright fruitiness, like a very soft, subtle, bright fruitiness. This also has a slight bit of a boozy nature to it as well, very far in the background. But primarily, as it's named, sandalwood and musk. I think this is really quite nice. If I had to score it out of 10, I would give this a nice like 7, 7.5, and would love to have my husband wear it more. He wasn't loving it, and so I just want to share that. I thought it was great on him. The one that he loved and I think is nice but isn't my favorite of the bunch, I wore this yesterday. That is the fresh pear and coconut in the green bottle. The notes here at the top, Italian lemon, orange, and pear. Jasmine and coconut in the middle, and then amber, sandalwood, and vanilla in the base. This fragrance smelled great on me. It smelled very much, though, like a number of the Tiziano Terenzi fragrances that have the heavy Paolo Terenzi perfumer musk, like, his signature musk DNA style. This fragrance smelled a lot like that. Like, I would put this in the same family as fragrances like Tabit, maybe even like Cassiopeia without the passion fruit note. That same kind of musky base is what's in here. I didn't get a whole lot of fresh pear and coconut, just to be fair. It was musk and florals and maybe like a hint of fruitiness to me. Very nice fragrance. I think this is nice. If you like the Tiziano Terenzi DNA, you will probably enjoy this fragrance too. It's like a much more affordable version of those. Husband loved this on me. He followed me around the house yesterday while I was wearing this. I would probably give this a good 7.5. Has a little bit of like that same sort of maybe Xerjoff Herba Pura, Kirky from Tiziano Terenzi kind of musk and fruity DNA. But the one that I sprayed and thought this one is my favorite of the bunch, I would score it higher, like 8.5, 9-ish range, is the marshmallow and lavender one. I find these colors really interesting. I might have put a more creamy color on this one, perhaps a more sort of earthy, orangey, browny color like what's in my shirt on the pear and coconut one, and maybe something like a darker grayish color on the sandalwood and musk one. So anyway, they're fun colors regardless of what I think they should be colored like. This fragrance is vanilla, marshmallow, and peach at the top, lavender and jasmine in the middle, and then musk and sugar crystals in the base. Very sweet, marshmallowy fragrance, not in the gourmand direction though. So that's an interesting combination of scents, not to smell gourmand, right? Like, I don't think of this as edible, although it comes out of the gate very strong in the sugary direction. Sugar crystals for sure, marshmallow and vanilla for sure, some sort of sweet white florals. I get a little bit of like a lavender aromatic touch, but not too much. Primarily, it's musky, it's sweet, it's marshmallowy, it's floral without smelling gourmand. And I think it's lovely. Very cozy, very comforting, very easy, fall sweater weather, maybe even late summer, evening when it starts to cool off kind of scent. This is my favorite of the three, and I would rate it the highest. And the one that I would say check out first if your tastes are similar to mine, which isn't saying much because my tastes are all over the place, but I think all three of these are a solid release, and I would highly recommend checking out ORRIS Vanille as well. There are so many from the Banana Republic line that I think are fantastic. W for women, I fell in love with as a musky, pear, clean smelling fragrance for year round. Like that, is wonderful. A bunch. I won't get into you can check them out on the website. There are a bunch. So those are my top recommendations for the sale. Do check it out. A lot of fragrances will sell out that are popular. So if you know you want to shop, you got your budget ready and you're a so avant-garde shopper, go on there. My biggest advice is to place separate orders. If you want to use the 30% off code for those brands that are eligible for that, place that order and then do a separate order for Tumi and Banana Republic if you plan to purchase those, because the cart only allows you to use one code at a time. So you want to get your maximum codes. My other piece of advice is I don't like the shipping protection. I don't use it. I turn that off. And the way that you do that is before you get to the final checkout window, when you hit your cart icon and that window pops up on the side, go down and uncheck the shipping protection. It's up to you if you want to use it or not. I don't like using it because I think it's an unnecessary cost, my own opinion. Before you check out, that'll save you a few dollars. Happy shopping if you do decide to shop. If you just joined to hear about the fragrances, thanks so much for hanging out with me. See you all in the next video. Enjoy the sale.